Shalom. This is Dr. Isaac Ruffin Jr. for another episode of Israelite Insight. And today's subject is going to be a very taboo subject about polygyny. 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 Not to be confused with polygamy, which is multiple marriages, because poly means many and gamy literally means marriages. Polygyny means many, poly, and gyne literally means wives, so many wives. So polygyny is a marriage with one husband with many wives. A little background about the way I used to look at it. I was gung-ho against it before I read Shemot Exodus 21:10 and somewhere in the borrowing Deuteronomy 21, I think 21:15, I think. Or, yeah, I know it's in Deuteronomy 21, where Moses wrote that if a man take another wife, her food, her clothing, and her raiment, he shall not diminish or repress from her or hold it back from her. Now personally, the way I teach it with polygyny, I know how to teach it without involving my personal opinion and how I feel about it, or even my own personal life about it. With polygyny, I don't encourage it if it is done in a place where the government, and I'm not talking about America. I'm not limited to America here. Even though I live in America right now, I'm not limited to America. There are some countries where polygyny is legal and lawful. Now, if you're living in a place and you look at this video and you're living in a place where polygyny is unlawful, then I'm not going to encourage it, because we are to obey the laws of the land. Civil lawlessness ruins our testimony of living set apart. Civil lawlessness ruins our testimony of living set apart. And when it comes to having multiple wives here, especially I'm talking to the Achim, the brothers now. If you are living with your mom, living with a roommate, barely making ends meet, you work at a part-time job with no kind of benefits, less than like $12 an hour, you should even consider doing polygyny, having more than one wife, because polygyny was not about sexual lust, to justify sexual lust. It was about building the household within and perpetuating the genealogy line, the genealogy of the man. So basically, if one wife couldn't reproduce, there was another wife that could. So that's the way it can, procreate and keep the generation going. Now, in that essence, that was an example, of course, with Abraham, and Hagar and Sarah, right? So in that instance, polygyny was used for to bring forth another child, to bring forth children, especially since Sarah was above 90. She was old in her early 90s, so she was well past the childbearing age. So she had a good idea. Hey, let me just use Hagar, and she later regretted that decision with Ishmael, right? So when it comes to polygyny, bottom line, if it's illegal where you are, don't do it. If you're a man that doesn't even have a good stable job or a stable income, don't do it. It's not encouraged all the way. It really isn't, And I mean, at the same time, it's not about being politically correct or what's fair, what's socially considered fair. No, just it's more of a responsibility. If you're irresponsible, you shouldn't do it at all. Not even marriage itself with one man and one woman is a responsibility. It's stewardship. So if you're not a good steward, then you're gonna struggle with marriage. Definitely with polygyny. If it's legal where you are. So that's the Israelite insight on polygyny here. I mean, you can jot down comments, tell people subscribe yourself, follow, whatever. And, I'll get more topics every now and then. Again, so until the next day, shalom, and stay away from chaos in his righteousness. All right? Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Shalom.